What if an AI just did everything for you? Tasks, apps, content, website, all of it. No, seriously, this Claude Ultimate tutorial is going to show you exactly how. Basics of Claude, basics of Claude Cowork. By the end of this video, you're never opening ChatGPT again. Your normal Claude chat. This is just like anything else. Now, there is some cool stuff with Claude. You can look at the Claude chat. Has everybody here used connectors in Claude? Has anybody connected their Gmail or their calendar or their Drive to Claude? Yes, a lot of you have, a lot of you haven't, okay? You don't have to worry about this. You can connect it and then you control what it can see and what it can't see, what it can do and what it can't do. But I'm gonna take it a step further and take you to the next tab. We're gonna go to Cowork here really quick. Okay, we're gonna start here and I'm gonna take you guys through Cowork. So this is how we're going. Claude is a large language model, just like Grok. Cowork is a combination between an agent and a large language model. So now we have a large language model that has the ability to do activities and do actions. So the difference being is now I can tell Claude Cowork to give it access to live channels on the internet, give it access to my folders. So the first thing you guys know this with all of it is you have a search. If you hit the search button on Claude Cowork, you can search through anything that you've done in Claude Cowork. It's going to go through all of your existing chats. That's pretty basic. The next thing that we have that you guys don't have, that you probably haven't seen in the past on Claude Cowork, is schedule. This is really cool because now we can create tasks and we can schedule them. And I'll give you guys a great example of something that I use in schedule. I have Claude Cowork running on multiple machines here, just so you guys know. So you're not going to see all of my Claude Cowork, but I will schedule blog posts. So I will run Claude Cowork and I will teach it to write blog posts for me. I will have it take my content, my videos, my what have you, create all the blog posts, schedule it. It'll create all the blog posts and post them to my website for free. Right? So now all of a sudden I'm creating SEO and AEO content. It's all dialed in with the proper schema. Every blog post has 5 images, has 8 headers. Every blog post is designed exactly the way it should be designed to maximize Google, you guys, to maximize ChatGPT, to maximize Canva. So the idea is we can schedule certain tasks, but there's other tasks I can schedule. I can tell it, give me a morning briefing every day. I want you to research everything that's going on in the industry, any new articles, any new posts, any new this, and give me a briefing every day. I can actually give it access to Zillow or my MLS and say, give me an update every single day. There's a lot of things that you guys are going to learn that we can use the scheduler for. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Projects are the same thing. So you create a project and we can put multiple documents and multiple chats in that project, and it's going to keep everything combined together. So instead of you guys needing to create a new chat every single time, if it's something that we come back to a lot, we create projects. So if I was going to create a new project, I'll show you guys a good example, and I was going to do it from scratch. I'm going to name my project. I'm going to give it detailed instructions on what this project is for. Like maybe this project is going to be, we're going to create a new website or we're going to create a new landing page. And I'm going to give it its detailed instructions. And then maybe I'm going to drop 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 documents into this project to train it. In other words, I'm going to give it a new website. I'm going to create a landing page project, or I'm going to want you to create landing pages for me regularly. Here are all the details that I need you to understand and know about landing pages. Maybe I pull a cheat sheet from Russell Brunson's .com secrets and ClickFunnels, and I throw all of the cheat sheet and all that stuff in here. And now I've created basically a project with some skills that are going to create landing pages for me over and over. Dispatch is the next super cool thing. And I'm going to explain to you guys how dispatch works. With Claude Cowork and Claude Code, you basically have a computer and an agent that can be working 24/7. So let's say my Cowork is sitting here working on something and is going around the clock. Historically, I'm not going to give Cowork unfettered access to everything. So Cowork on the regular is going to be asking me if it can have access to a file or if it can have access to a certain website or things like that. And so when you're using Claude Cowork and you're using Claude Code, it has to be monitored. You're not always going to be sitting at your desk. Sometimes you're going to be out in the field. Sometimes you're going to be out working. And the great thing about dispatch, and you guys can see it there. I'll show you what it looks like historically. I'm going to show a picture of my other dispatch that's running in the background. So what happens is dispatch is running on this computer, and it's also running on my phone. So what happens is I'm in the field, Claude's working on my computer, and then it's pinging me on my phone and asking me for permissions and asking me for questions, and I'm providing feedback. So I can keep Claude Cowork going even when I'm not at my desk. I can give it new tasks, I can give it new assignments, I can give it approvals, all of that with dispatch. So it's a really powerful little tool that Claude made. And once you learn to use it, it's super simple. The only reason I don't have it set up in here is because I've got it set up on a different computer. So I'm just giving it to you guys as an idea. The next thing that we have in Claude Cowork is ideas. And this is actually a really cool little section they built for you guys. And what they're trying to tell you is here is a way for you guys to learn how to use Claude Cowork. When you click on ideas, it's going to give you a bunch of different ideas that you can use to just test things, right? And what Claude has done is Claude has built in skills, and Claude has built in connectors. If you see create a daily briefing and you see it's got like my calendar, it's got Slack, it's got Google. So if I go to this create a daily briefing, it's going to say, I want a daily briefing, give me space to share what I'd like to focus on, and it's going to keep going. Now, I'm not going to do that whole thing right now because I think that's a little bit much, but it's the same thing, research competitors and compare positioning. It's going to give me a competitive brief on a competitor. Now it's going to load tools. When it loads tools, it's going to load a skill. See right here where it says / competitive briefs? That's the skill that it's giving itself. And now it's going to start asking me questions like, which business do I want? Mountain Builders? Do I want Van Life? Do I want Got Coach? And it's going to it knows everything about me. So it's going to keep asking me questions and going from there. I'm not going to keep going on all that, you guys, because I don't have any competitors. As you go through all of these, you can plan a trip, you can catch up on what I missed, you can build a web app. I am going to give you guys some differences. And I know that Jason believes that Cowork's probably a better solution for you guys than Claude Code. I'm going to give you a little details on what the difference between the two really is. Claude Cowork is half of Claude and half of Code. So it's giving you some of the ability that Claude Code has, and it's giving you all of the ability of Claude LLM has. So it's in the middle. This is where you guys should all absolutely start. The difference between Claude Cowork and Claude Code is as you're building things in Claude Cowork, Cowork's going to continue to ask you for permissions, or it's going to say something like, okay, I'm going to open up the website. You need to authorize the website. Or it's going to say, here is some data that we have to put into a field. And it's going to give you clear step-by-step directions on how to put that data into the field in your follow-up boss, let's say. Whereas Claude Code, I can give Claude Code my API, and it's going to go into my follow-up boss and put everything in for me, if that makes sense. So this is your middle ground. This is your training ground, Claude Cowork. It really is. And as you use it more and more, and as you put more and more plugins in, it's going to become easier and easier. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll tell you what I use Claude Cowork for. That's a great example. When I'm designing something new, I will use Claude Cowork first. And I will start talking to Claude Cowork. Okay, I'm going to design. I'll actually show you guys something this week and give you guys some ideas. So let's take a look here. You guys over. Open up that. Okay. I'm going to show you guys something that I designed this week. So this week, one of the things that I'm designing for all of you guys, everybody will get access to it on the Aaron Chua website. And let's bring it on over in here. So slow. On the Aaron Chua website, one of the things that I was offering to everybody was a community that I'm building out for you guys. It's free for all of you guys. You guys don't pay, but for people that aren't Tom Ferry clients are going to be paying to be part of the community. We're going to have live group coaching, Q&As, templates and checklists, and we're going to have some peer groups and some accountabilities. We're going to have masterminds in it. We're going to have copies of all the books and a bunch of resources. And I had originally built this community at school. Does everybody here know what Alex Hormozi's school is? It's an open community, like Circle, something like that. And I was actually talking to my editor yesterday on the Crazy Simple YouTube book. By the way, it'll be out in a couple days, you guys, finally. And he's like, why didn't you just build it yourself? You seem like you have the skills. So I went to Claude Cowork and I said, hey, how hard would it be for us to just build this community ourselves and do all the coding, write the whole program? Claude Cowork gave me all of those answers and told me how it would be. And I said, okay, let's put together the plan for building this community. Claude Cowork put together a 20-page PDF document for building the community. And then I said, then Claude Cowork asked, do you want us to start building it right now? And I'll tell you what I told Claude Cowork, you guys. I was like, no, I don't want you to start building it, because if I build it in Cowork, I'm going to have to monitor every single thing that you do. You're going to make me approve every little thing, and it's going to be a lot more work. You can do it, and Claude Cowork will do it, but it's going to be more work. I go, give me a document that I can upload to Code, so Code can build the community for me. And Claude Cowork says, oh, that's a brilliant idea. That's going to be much easier for you. So it gave me a document, and I uploaded that document to Code. And this is the community that we ended up with yesterday. So it's got full community, it's got courses, it's got events, it's got chat, it's got announcements, it's got gamification. I've created events. Like, it's going to be pretty dynamic, probably significantly better than school on day one. And the code's all written and done and built. And guess when Claude Code did this, you guys? Claude Code did it while I was working. I did 26 calls yesterday when Claude built this. Right? That's what Claude's capable of doing. I'm going to show you a couple more things on Cowork. One of the things we can do in Claude Cowork is we can customize Claude Cowork, right? So just so everybody knows, I'm not going anywhere. So when we get into customized, this is where it gets a little bit more fun for Claude Cowork, and you guys really need to understand this. I think it's super cool. This is where we start connecting our apps. If we want to connect apps, we can connect whatever apps that we use, and it will directly connect to that. I'll give you guys some great examples. I've got, in my other one, I have Notion connected. So we use a Notion board. I have my Monday.com connected. I can connect my PayPal. Figma is a designer. We have Jot Forms. There's all of these apps that we can connect that are really perfect and work amazingly in Claude. And now what happens once you connect these apps is Claude has the ability to push back and forth from the app. So I can say to Claude Cowork, hey, take a look at my Monday.com board and see what's missing. We currently have 450 YouTube audits that we're running. I think we're 200 plus audits in. I can say, Claude, take a look at my Monday.com board. Tell me how many YouTube audits we have left to run for all the Tom Ferry clients. Tell me how many we got done yesterday. Tell me what I can do to get more done or get them done faster. And Claude Cowork's going to go right into my Monday.com and give me all of those details instantaneously. Like instantly, right? When you guys saw the Aaron Chua, Claude Cowork's connected to my Stripe. If somebody wants to book an appointment with me on my site, they have to pay $250, and Claude just connected it and did it all itself. By the way, when Claude created that website, you guys, Claude also mapped everything to my follow-up boss for me. So as it created lead magnets, I said, here's an API for my follow-up boss. For those of you that are using follow-up boss, I will show you how easy that is. When you're in follow-up boss, you just click create API, and you'll see APIs and you give that API to Claude, and it says, thank you for the API. I got access now. So that's connectors. And then the other thing that you guys really need to know is skills. So skills are pre-programmed skills that Claude has made for you, that Anthropic has made, that are already built out. So one of the most important skills, and you'll see the ones that say plus, that means I haven't added them. And the ones that have a gear, it means I have added them, right? So canvas design, web artifacts builder, internal comms, or the most important skill for me, you guys, is skill creator, right? Angela asked, how do you give the API to Claude? You just copy it from Fub and then paste it in the chat. Claude has your API. I'm going to show you guys how to do that here in a second. So you guys will get it. We're going to we're going to do some live building here in a minute. The reason Skill Creator is great, I'll give you guys a great example. One of the skills that I created on this computer is I did research on all of the best TikToks, Instagrams, YouTube hooks, right? I made a 3 or 4 page document on how to create the best hooks for your videos. And then I created a skill on my Claude on creating hooks. Now, do you think that Claude skill that creates hooks is going to be better than a normal ChatGPT hook creator? It's going to be 10 times better. So you use these little skills, and once you use a skill, it's going to tell you what it does. This guides users through structured workflow for co-authoring documentation. Boom, when to use it, how to use it. It tells you everything that you need to know about those skills. Same thing with Artifacts Builder or Canvas Design. Let's take a look. It creates beautiful visual art in PNG and PDF documents using design philosophy. So when I'm creating a PowerPoint with Claude Cowork, which I will show you guys here in a minute, I'm going to load the Canvas design skill before I create it. And then Claude is literally going to become the world's best visual designer before it makes my PowerPoint. Now, here's where it becomes even more powerful. If you have Claude for Teams, right? You just share that with your assistant or your VA, and now they're creating this stuff for you based on what you built. It's a whole different level when you start using Claude skills and you start using Claude things. A couple other things here that I think are important. Brand voice, right? You can give it your brand voice. You can upload things that you've written in the past. You can upload specific skills for your brand voice. I think marketing is an amazing skill that Anthropic has. This will do complete SEO optimization. This will do multi-channel campaigns on posting on your social media, on creating your blogs. It'll review content against your old content that you've written in your brand voice. It will analyze positioning of your competitors' blogs and your competitors' SEO or even your competitors' AEO, right? And it's going to build this content and these documents for you. So learning how to use something as simple as this is going to be really powerful for you as you learn Claude Cowork. And that's a wrap on part 1. Scheduler, projects, dispatch, connectors, skills. You now know more about Claude Cowork than 99% of real estate agents out there. Part 2 is where it gets wild. Claude Code, live builds, lead magnets, landing pages, all of it. Hit subscribe so you don't miss part 2 when it drops. See you there.